Before we go any further, the circus is in town. Ever hear of Monster Energy Supercross? Ever hear of Ringling Brothers Barnum and Bailey Circus? Right? Disney on Ice Monster Jam. Well, Kurt McCoy with Feld Entertainment. Kurt, work your way up while I'm talking about you. Okay? Kurt and I just recently met for a partnership between Scouting America and Feld. And Kurt's got, and everything they do at Feld is big. We start talking, he's like, well, let's just do this nationally. Maybe we can do this internationally. So we're kind of getting in touch with the right people for this partnership. Kurt is Vice President of HR over there at Feld Entertainment, responsible for HR, benefits, payroll, administrative operations, customer service, community outreach, et cetera, over there. Previously, he was with Carrington Health in Columbus, Ohio as Vice President of HR, and he is a graduate of the Ohio State University. All right, good. There's IO. See, he's got it over there. Kurt, please tell us what's going on at Feld. Come on up.
That's us. Any questions? There you go. Anybody can do a PowerPoint. Okay, I want to just keep this as conversational as possible, and if you have questions as we go along the way, don't save them for the end. I see my good friends Don and John are here from the Boys and Girls Clubs. They have experienced a Feld invasion themselves. If anybody of you attended the Caribbean Gala, we decorated that building. So it was a volunteer effort for our employees. They could sign up to do it. We have a philanthropic program in place. So what is Feld Entertainment? We are a privately owned company located in that tiny building next to Culver's, just down the road, just down 301. I advise you not to go down there at 5 when our employees are leaving, because there may be 400 or 500 of them leaving at once. We were founded in Washington, D.C. in 1938 by the grandfather of our current CEO. And he started out by owning a drugstore. In order to compete against the other drugstores, he played music in speakers outside on the streets. So as people came in, they didn't want to buy stuff from the drugstore, they wanted to buy the music that was playing. So then he turned that into a chain of record stores. Very entrepreneurial family. In 1956, he became the manager of Ringling Brothers, Barnum and Bailey. The Ringling North family, they were struggling a little bit. That's back in the day when the Ringling Brothers show was still being played in tents around the country. What he noticed in that time was arenas were starting to pop up around the country. And he was also a music producer, so he toured. Well, he's not around, so I can say that. A 15-year-old Paul Anka, yeah, so Paul Anka's now 85, 86. He toured the Rolling Stones. He toured the Beatles. So if any of you have been to a concert lately, you know how it's all done. So there's a poster in the Baltimore Arena that says, Feld Entertainment presents the Rolling Stones. Send a check for $1.75 for your ticket and a return envelope so we can mail it back to you. So times have changed just a little bit. In 1967, the Ringlings wanted out. The Ringling North family that owned Ringling Brothers wanted out. So he bought Ringling Brothers, and at Feld Entertainment, we don't ever do anything small. So it was a $7 million in gold deal signed in the Colosseum in Rome. In gold, why, you ask? Gold? No tax on gold back then. Very smart. So now he owned the circus. In 1969, he ended up buying the Williams Circus in Germany, which was, if any of you are circus aficionados, was actually owned by Gunther Gable Williams. He brought Gunther Gable Williams to the U.S., and now he had two circuses. The Feld family had two circuses. They toured the country, and the way our tours were set up with two circuses were that if you were to go to Amalie Arena 2 years in a row, you would see a different circus. So there was year one route, and then year two route would follow. Two largest privately owned trains in the world transported our performers, and at that time, our animals, our elephants, families, everything. They were mobile cities that were going around. 1971, Mattel Toys decided they wanted to be in live entertainment, so they bought Ringling Brothers from the Felds, but the Felds still ran it. They bought it for $40 million. 10 years later, they said, whoop, nope, not for us. Sold it back to the family for $22 million. Somebody got a deal, that's all I'm saying. In 1981, Kenneth Feld, our former chairman, came up with the idea of an ice show. He went to Disney and promoted the idea, and that's how Walt Disney World of Ice was formed. Later became Disney on Ice, which now, in a year, during a season, will have 9 productions touring the world. 1986 was the first year we've gone global. We sent a Disney on Ice show to Japan. But between that time and now, we've played more than 70 countries on 6 continents. A couple other shows we've added. We had Disney Live, which was a stage show for 0 to 4-year-olds. Don't go if you can't stand the hyper energy. It's down now, but it was a 45-minute show because that's about the attention span. 2006, we toured Doodle Bops. Doodle Bops was a Canadian group, so anybody from Canada will recognize Rooney and Moe from the Doodle Bops. 2008, we bought Monster Jam from Live Nation. So with that came the monster truck, that came Supercross, the motorcycle racing. A smaller division, which we later sold off, was IHRA, which is the International Hot Rod Association, which is a very small straight track. Too small for us. We like to blow things up. We like to add pixie dust to everything. We got to do it. We got to do it big. We go big or we go home. In 2013, we moved into our building down the road, which is 600,000 square feet total, 3rd largest single tenant building in Florida. NASA's #1, Amazon, then us. We were number 2 for a long time until everybody started buying Amazon. We partnered up with NBC, and then we started touring Marvel Universe Live. That toured the world as well. And you have to realize in the live entertainment, you tour things until people don't want to see them anymore. And Marvel also realized that, hey, maybe they're releasing too many movies at once, so if you keep seeing ads for another Marvel movie coming out, so they decided they need to do a little more quality and a little less quantity. So they pulled their live action shows back. So we cut those out. After that, we introduced Jurassic World Live. So that was a live production. First time, so if you watch the Jurassic World movies, all those dinosaurs are in CGI. This is the first time these dinosaurs had ever actually been built. Ours were animatronics that ran. Hard to find a company that builds dinosaurs. We thought we did. They didn't do so good on the wiring, so who saved us on the wiring? Monster truck crews. Those guys can build anything. So they came in and redid the schematics, redid the wiring. Lo and behold, we have monster trucks, or we have dinosaurs. 2017, we toured Sesame Street as well. We did experiences were very big pre-COVID. We did Trolls the Experience, which was a year-long experience that you toured in New York. It was in a building in New York where you paid and you toured and went through different parts of the Trolls. You have to work with NBC to do it. You actually have to call Justin Timberlake on the phone and get approval because he owns all the songs. And then we went from there. It was perhaps it sat there too long. In New York, you're relying a lot on foot traffic. The circus, we closed that in 2017. I was also in charge of the elephants, so at that time I was not VP of HR, I was VP of mammals. So people and elephants. Any given day depends on which one I prefer. So our elephants were housed at what we called the CEC, which was the Center for Elephant Conservation in Polk County. They now live in Yulee, Florida. Mr. Walter, who just bought the Lakers, has a little 20,000 acre spread up there, and he brings in endangered species. So he's got about 400 species up there. It's called white oak. He's not open to the public any longer, but it's 20,000 acres that goes from Florida on into Georgia. The animals have pens, but their pens are perhaps 1,500 acres in size. After Supercross, we bought Supercross, which is the motorcycle. So the Supercross riders are not our performers. They're what we call OEMs, which are original equipment manufacturers. We own the league. So in motorcycle racing, we're like the NFL. Okay, we own the first 17 races. Another company, MX Sports of West Virginia, owned the next 11 races. And then the two of us combine for the 3 championship races at the end. Those will be a combination of our events are our stadium and arena, their events are on trail, so they do Loretta Lynn's Ranch and they do smaller places. We did our championship last year to combine it. We did it in the Rose Bowl, where you could actually, first part of the race was inside the stadium, and then you went out through the doors and through the parking lot dirt track, and then back in through the doors and back into the stadium. Except we don't do anything small. So our stats last year are, we played 3,000 cities with our shows, 15 million customers. Monster Jam, most of you know Monster Jam, is actually 5 tours. There are 5 tours of trucks. We own 55 of the trucks. The others, we get independents. So 3 of those tours play arenas, and 2 of those tours play stadiums. We just finished Monster Jam World Finals in Salt Lake City, which was a 2-day event. Fireworks, pit parties, champions named, 227,000 people on YouTube alone watched it. So it's a fairly big event. It's a culmination. Monster Jam will be down a little bit till August 2nd, when it'll be Orlando. Then August 15th, it'll be back in Tampa. This weekend, Monster Jam, part of it will go to St. Paul. We have a Disney on Ice tour in Australia. We have a Disney on Ice tour in Japan. We have a Disney on Ice tour in Mexico City right now, sitting down for 4 weeks. Streaming, we're big into streaming. So if you have Hulu, Amazon Prime, or Pluto TV, you can watch the Monster Jam channel. Not a plug, I'm just saying. Just saying in case you want to watch it. We had 222 live events on Monster Jam TV last year. We're currently under our 3rd generation of ownership. The CEO was named Juliette Feld Grossman. She replaced her father last year. He's still around. He made his announcement for his retirement, and the next day he walked down the hall, and I told him how bad he was at retirement, because you're not supposed to retire and then come in the next day. So she is taking over as the next generation. There are 2 more sisters that are on the board that live in New York, and things are just looking great for us. So we just finished Monster Jam World Finals, and for the first time, so it was at Rice-Eccles Stadium, which is the University of Utah. There we actually put the track up into the stands, which means we had to take out all the seats. We had to cut all the railings off and then re-weld them before we left. But something you didn't think about is that our sprinkle trucks, our water trucks, couldn't make it up the hills, so we had to install a sprinkler system to keep the dirt down. So we also have what's called Monster Jam University, which is in Illinois, which is where potential drivers can go to. There's a rehearsal. There's a call for people you are interviewed. You don't have to come in with 5 years of driving a monster truck. Although I got to tell you, I moved here from DC, and sometimes when I'm in Publix, I feel like a monster truck parks next to me. So, my little low car. But we will teach you how to do the back flips, the noses, the front flips. And also you get media training, and you get training on how to deal with the public. It's something you wouldn't think about, but it's a very physical job. The Air Force came in and said it's like a hard helicopter landing. Each monster truck seat is custom made for that driver. So we asked that driver to keep their backside the same size during the whole season, so we have to make them a new seat. So there's a huge amount of safety precautions that are involved with it, and when we have independent drivers come in, they have to meet our safety standards before they're even allowed to compete. So what people don't think of is that Feld Entertainment is actually a business. So we have your accountants, and we have your tax people, and we are pretty much self-contained. Things that you look for are operational people that are willing to travel, like an ice tech. Like when we mentioned, talking about when we travel to most cities in Europe or any city that doesn't have an NHL team, we bring our own ice floors. Think of your car radiator, that's what it looks like, but arena-sized. And the individuals who put that down, so if you're going in Europe, you hopscotch. So you have a team here, they'll put it down, the show arrives. When that team that put it down and that show arrives, they go to the next city to get an ice floor ready, and then a team follows them to take that ice floor out. So you have to love to travel. You're going to be on the road for 9 straight months, which is the same with a performer, which is the same with a crew if you're a rigger. So anything which is a traveling, what you think is a stage production, even the people who sell things in the stands, those are our employees. So if you go to one of our events, and I'm sure everybody will, and everybody's going to buy a plush or going to buy a sword or going to buy a light up spinning thing, those are our employees. So we're looking all the time. It's a challenge to find some positions in Florida, to be honest. The good news is if you're on a touring show, you don't have to live here. So we're going to fly you to that location, then you're going to tour with that show. but other marketing positions, AI, all that kind of stuff is the new stuff coming along. The new Ringling Brothers will be out in January of 2026. Brand new entire show, no animals, no children performers, no clowns. So those of us who've been to our building and you've had to walk down scary clown hallway, which I will make you walk down if you come there, you don't have to worry about the traditional clowns are not out there. We are reviewing a couple of movie deals right now. If anybody's ever seen the Dwayne Johnson show Ballers, if you watch a couple of those episodes when he's at Monster Jam, that's us. So he is a huge fan. Everything we do is online now. So every position we have is posted on our website, and everything we do is online. We tend not to use outside agencies. I have the world's best talent acquisition team. Why would I use an agency? I probably have a longer history in this room with Kiwanis than anybody else, because anybody who's a Kiwanian maybe 30 years ago remember the Hugh O'Brien Youth Foundation. Kiwanis was a national sponsor of that foundation with the television actor Hugh O'Brien, run by volunteers, 3,000 volunteers. I was the international chairman in 1994. I went to every Kiwanis club in Ohio to beg for money.
So you're going to go online later and fill out an application?
Look for that.
I'll come up to the gate and be Calvin.
Yeah, come up to the gate, and yeah, he's very protective of me, so you got to realize a couple of those security guards are actually married to people on my staff, so we are family oriented. And we have right now, we're at about 1,900 employees.
Just here or what?
No, so 1,900 employees, if you break that down, probably 60% of those are performers. So the other 40% are here. We're down to about 400 over here. And then we have offices around the world. So we have just a few offices. We have a couple in Australia, we have Argentina, we have Mexico, we have Spain, we have England, we have the Netherlands, we have Sweden, we have Hong Kong, and we have Japan. If you look at a Disney on Ice show, or even like a Jurassic, you look at their movie sales first. And if that movie did well internationally, we're more than likely going to do it, because we're the longest licensee that Disney has. We have a 40-year past history with them. They will, on occasion, ask us to introduce one of their new characters in one of our ice shows. Who remembers Princess Tiana? Well, there you go. Miracle remembers. She's the only one. I'm sorry. Yeah, Princess Tiana didn't. We put her in a show, but then there's the audience reaction, and we do a lot of surveys. We do a lot of customer surveys afterwards, and
you work with a committee that makes those decisions within your organization.
We do look at it. You look at how are ticket sales going. You also look at who else is out there doing the exact same thing. So if there's somebody else doing it, so DTG, which is Disney Theater Group, they're the Broadway group, but they also do international tours. Officially, they're not supposed to compete with us. Or on occasion, you may have a Disney theater production down the street which is them, down the street from a Disney on Ice production, which is us. And what the family hears, and I'm sorry guys, but in most families, the mom is the key decider on what the family discretionary dollars are going to be spent towards on entertainment. The family hears Disney, and so they decide to them it doesn't matter. To them it's all Disney. To them Disney on Ice is Disney. But things like Jurassic, the movies, haven't done so well. So worldwide ticket sales are enough to say, not for us any longer. When I heard people at that club said, "Oh my God, you guys came with an army." That's how we roll. We roll deep. You should be surprised that it's just me here today. Normally, there's a pack of 20 of us. And again, those are the kind of positions we would look for, the kinds that came and decorated the club. So in that group, we had electricians, we had sound people, we had costume people, we had just people who do decorating. And it's not all touring. A lot of it is, but we have our own sound, we build everything ourselves over here. Sometimes if you're watching Monster Jam on TV and you see the two hosts up at their big stand, that's in our recording studio over in our building. During COVID, when not a lot going on, we hosted the WNBA season in our building, set up 2 basketball courts in each of our rehearsal halls. They streamed it to ESPN in Connecticut and did the live broadcast from there, although they were playing basketball over here.
Wow.
That's how we learned more about COVID. The NBA approached us because the NBA, if you recall, during COVID, during the championships, the men played in Orlando. If everybody starts to remember that. They wanted to put the WNBA someplace close so that the NBA people didn't have a big distance to go back and forth. So even though LeBron was at the Ritz-Carlton, the ladies were at IMG Academy. And they brought him over. We set up 2 complete basketball stadiums inside our building, and they played their season. So again, those are the kind of people, I mean, good with your hands is what I'm saying. We will teach you the skills. If you have the right attitude and the right aptitude, that's what we're looking for. I don't expect somebody to come in and be able to hang lights on rigging, unless you've done that in the past. But if you have the right attitude and the right aptitude, we'll do it. If you're love cars and have always wanted to work on cars, I have 55 bays of monster trucks over here in an air-conditioned garage, ready to go. But even the decorating, the airbrushing, the painting of the monster trucks happens over there. And if you look at Gravedigger and how intricate that design is, Danny, the guy who paints it, freehands it. He's not using stencils, he freehands it. He's that good. We have athletic trainers. And the reason we have athletic trainers, and most of our injuries are strains and stuff, but what we found was important is that the benefits team that reports to me will say you're injured and you require 6 weeks of PT. We will set up your PT in 6 consecutive cities as you go. The purpose of the athletic trainer is to make sure that you're getting continuously better treatment, because the way it was before the athletic trainers were in existence was the fact that every time you went to a new doctor, what did you get? You got a pre-screen. And then you moved to the next city, you got a pre-screen. And then you got a pre-screen. So this athletic trainer guarantees that you'll be getting better. There are ambulances we contract with that are in the venues. There's a medical team, a local medical team at all Monster Jam productions as well. Yes. Anything else? Am I done? All right.
Thank you, Wait, you gotta stay up here. You gotta stay out here. The Bradenton Kiwanis, okay, we've got a tradition where we present you with a golden ruler
Oh, nice.
to measure your future success over at Feld. And we'll get a picture with this guy right here.
All right.
All right?
Thank you so much.
That's good stuff. It's interesting when you drive by, right, just that massive building up there. Remember when it was, a different company up there? What was it? Hydraulic power up there. So there were generators. But anyway, next week, please join us. Marcy McPherson will be here with Dementability. And if we don't have anything else, I can't think of anything else. Please have a great afternoon and have a great week. Meeting adjourned.